Okay, so today we're using the PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds interactive map of Erangel by Web Destroyer. This dude ended up making a full interactive map, and it shows you all the high loot areas, medium loot areas, high chance of vehicles, possible spawn for boats, and high gun loot. This is actually pretty good. Surprising. I like what they did with this. It's cool. I love it. Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you guys my favorite and things I do to get my chicken dinners. So let's start off with this video. Okay, so this first strategy I have for getting you that chicken dinner is only applies if you're going from Lipovka, jeez, I know I probably say these things wrong, but it's okay. Lipovka to somewhere around Quarry or Gatka / Georgia Pole, which might sound like a lot, but trust me, it'll make sense. So I'm going to go on this. So this measure mode basically makes me able to put a line wherever I put my crosshair, and it's pretty lit. So what I'm going to show you guys is what I do. So you want to do is you want to drop somewhere around here. So you're coming from Lipovka, or whatever the frig it's called, and then you're making your way all the way down here, and you'll probably end up somewhere around this area. Now there's two ways you can do this. I usually like to start over here in the back near these buildings over here, and then I start making my way down the road. Very simple. Now what sometimes I do, not really likely, I'll make my way to hospital if nobody's over here, and if not, I'll loot it, and then I'll see if there's a car around. Most times, 95% of the time, there'll be a car in this area, and then you just make your way down into here and go around. Okay, so basically what I just did for you guys is I outlined one of the major ways of getting around and getting good loot. Now, so you start up here, you can either go straight down, or you can go all the way around and maybe pick up a car and hit a few buildings on the way. But I suggest going straight down from here, these apartments or buildings up here, and making your all the way down here. Now, as you can see, that you could probably loot Primorsk or any of the buildings on here. I like this route particularly, and this is where I got my first chicken dinner, because the circle ended up ending on Georgia Pole Hills, and that honestly, it just gave me the advantage. Now, you will definitely find something good over here, and a lot of times you can find things on the side because nobody goes here. It's wicked underrated. And I think it's just honestly a good tactic in general to use from this set. And on to the next one. This one's going to take place in military base. I'm going to try to get all these strategies around the map and what I do. So you don't ever want to drop ever in the middle of military base. That's always such a bad idea. And I see so many people do that. But one thing that's really underrated and nobody goes to is right here. Here is really good for two reasons. One, it might not look like he drops good loot, but it really does. And over here is also very good. So I would end up, what I do is I hit this building right here first, and then this one, or vice versa. But this one's on top of a hill, so it's kind of hard to get to. And I want to say like 9 times out of 10, you'll definitely find a car on the road. It says possible spawn, but there's at least one on this road somewhere. Now what I like to do is I like to go through here. I like to loot all of this over here, and then make my way up to here. And then if nobody's in Nova, or Novo, Raponi, whatever, however you say that Russian name, I like to loot this, and then I have a good freaking loot. Okay, sound good? It sounds good. But here's the problem. Depending on where the end circle is, it might get kind of iffy. So I'm considering that either you start out in military base and you're making your way up in the, say, the Pochinki area, or it's somewhere down here is your circle. So what I'd like to do after that is I'll make my way up to bridge and I will camp. Now that might not sound like the most fun strategy, but it does work. Camping bridge, it works freaking wonders, man. You have no idea. Also, on this side of the bridge, about right here, there'll be a crate you can sit in. That works very good. And there'll be cars up here that you can just chill in. Honestly, these are just strategies to help you guys find loot, and hopefully that worked out for you in this one. Okay, so this next one's going to be taking place on the right side of the map. We have Mylta Power here. Now, you would think this is a very common place to drop, which it is, but there's also different ways of approaching it and better ways of getting the loot that you want. So what I suggest doing is I usually drop right in Mylta Power or the power plant. This one like obviously depends on who's dropping, how many people, duo, squad, solos. But I seem to have luck dropping duos with my friend right on top of the building, which always is a good thing. Now what I would do from there is I'd loot the whole thing, kill anyone that goes there. Now make your way onto this road right here. Don't try to worry so much about up here. You want to make sure you find a car. So look in these two areas right here. You're guaranteed a car. And then after that, what I would do is I make your way down here, loot all these houses, probably stop around here, go straight through the woods, and then do a big ass fucking circle. You don't even have to go all the way up. I'd probably just stop around here. That'd be good enough if you stopped right at these houses right here. They're really good, and you'll definitely find yourself some good loot. You go up here, make your way through, or even make your way down here depending on where your spawn is, where your circle is. You know how it goes. Okay, last but not least on this list is, I gotta say, this strategy is probably the one I use the most, and because of two situations. One, because everybody's going to be dropping school over here before you get to this area, and I'm going to say you have a good 50% chance of the plane going at least near this area. So what you want to do is you want to drop around this house right here. Now you're almost guaranteed a car considering how many spawn points there are around this road, which is really nice. So what I like to do is I like to make my way up here, go through this town. Honestly, apps is definitely overrated, and I do not suggest stopping in the apps, but you can if you want. But these small buildings over here and over here are really good, and you're pretty much guaranteed good loot from this point. Now what you want to do from here is you want to make your way up to Zharki. Now that you're up at Zharki, you have some pretty good chances of finding some really good loot, and so I just loot that place up, get up there, and then make your way down here all the way up to the northwest bunker. Now once you get to the northwest bunker, loot all that, and you should be pretty good to go. Depending on where the circle is in the situation, it can really range. Honestly, most of the time I like to make my way up here on the main roads, go to Zharki, and then sometimes down here, and then I'll get here depending on where it is. Make a nice big U. That's not one good looking U, but it is a U nonetheless. Or sometimes I'll make a U-turn and then make our way back down here, and then maybe your game ends up in military base, but who knows. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully it was helpful. Maybe you guys have some new strategies or even some better ones. Leave it down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And a piece of ravioli. See you guys in the next one. Peace.
I'll keep you safe in these arms tonight. Hold on to me, baby, and you see I can be all you need. I'll keep you safe in these arms tonight. Hold on to me, baby, and you see I can be all you need.